So, Coach, you just wrapped up the practice round here at the U.S. Open. To have 4 of your current Stanford student athletes qualify to play in this major, what does that say about them as individuals and about your program as a whole?
Yeah, it's a huge honor, right? I mean, anytime you can play in a major, it's great. And I think I've just encouraged the guys to try and stop and smell the roses a little bit. We've talked a little bit too. It's neat to play the Open on a George Thomas design course, much like we have at Stanford on our campus. So there's a lot of great tie-ins, some really neat Stanford, LA supporters, members of the club here. But it's a huge honor for our program and a credit to the guys. They've been working hard all spring. We came up a little bit short at NC2As, but I know that they've all been playing well, and it just shows that these young amateurs are ready to go play and make some birdies.
I was going to ask about the course design, same course architect here as your home course at Stanford. What type of advantage or familiarity does that give the 4 guys who are competing this week?
Well, I think it's a nice tie, but I think that it's hard to find U.S. Open setup conditions, greens this fast and rough this long. But I think just feeling at home, playing on the West Coast, knowing what the afternoon breeze can feel like. We get some of that at Stanford or in the Pac-12. So I think our guys will do well here. We enjoyed playing the Pac-12 championship here in 2013. Max Homa was winner, and so I saw him today on the range, and I feel like an old coach, but talked to him a little bit about that. But it's a great celebration of West Coast golf, and I know our guys definitely feel the support that they're getting, playing with that S on their chest and representing our program.
Amazing. Well, I just spoke to the guys a little bit ago, and they all seemed ready for this moment. What do you think that playing in a conference like the Pac-12 and for a program like Stanford has done to prepare them for this opportunity?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that all of these guys enjoy bright lights. I mean, that's, to be a top prospect, to be successful at our program, you've hopefully played in big moments. And obviously this is the biggest stage. And those feelings might be a little different when you hit one in the rough off the first hole, but I think they're ready. They have great teams around them. We try and provide them awesome support at our place at Stanford, and I think they're ready. You just never know. I think that there's always in every major there's always a fun story of an amateur running up the leaderboard, and all 4 of those guys could definitely get that attention this week.
So I heard you mention earlier that your message has been, hey, stop and smell the roses. But have you also been preaching to them, why not you?
Yeah, I think so. I think the thing to me is that it's still golf, right? I mean, the greens are fast, and obviously I watched them a little bit as John Rahm teed off there on 10 just to see their reaction, and they were all watching him. But and there's world-class players here, but if you can just string shots together and not get too caught up in your score and have it be about shot by shot and just believing in that you can execute those shots, I think good things can happen, and sometimes it can surprise you. So that's what's fun about playing a U.S. Open, and I hope we have a story like that. We'd be loving it on campus for sure.